How's everybody doing out there? This is Pete, and we are live today on Christmas Eve. So what we're going to do, we're going to stay live for a little while. We're going to kind of do a new thing. It's called a live feed. Now, what this is where we will keep the camera running and possibly for a long time. I don't know how long. It might only be an hour. Who knows? But we're going to continue to work as we do our live feed. So we're going to see my friend Pete working and doing what he needs to do to get shit done. We already got Oval SX. How you doing? Okay, so Merry Christmas to everybody. We want to start that off. God bless everybody and hope everybody is in the Christmas spirit. Not exactly to get free presents and gifts, but to celebrate Jesus Christ's birth. Now, I want to make everything clear here because there is a preacher that is on TikTok, and he's online. His name's Gino Jennings. Now, Gino Jennings doesn't like any religion except his. He is one of these haters that think that all religion are disgustful, and the only religion to believe is his religion and what he reads in the Bible. Well, did you know that the Bible is a scripture that is interpreted in what is in your mind? That means that not everybody's interpretation of the Bible is the same. Everybody has their own opinion of the Bible. And Gino Jennings' opinion is that Catholics, Baptists, Methodists, and any and all other churches that preach God is wrong. He brought up the subject one time of Christmas, that you should throw your Christmas trees in the trash, that you should take all your presents and throw them in the trash, and Christmas should not be celebrated because that has nothing to do with Jesus Christ and Christmas. Well, Gino Jennings is wrong. Christmas is a time of the year that you celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ. That's what Christmas is. Now, I don't know how the concept of giving presents to each other got into that effect. I think it was giving and receiving is a thing that God showed us and that we should do that when we celebrate. That doesn't mean that his birthday is on the 25th. And see, that's where Gino Jennings comes in, and he tries to tell you that everything is wrong in that aspect. The only thing that has to do with Jesus Christ's birth during Christmas is a celebration. We don't know when Jesus was born. We don't know the date. We don't know the day. We don't know what time it was, this, that, and the other. But we do know that we have to have a day that we can celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ, just like everything else. We got Thanksgiving. We got New Year's. We got Martin Luther King Day. We used to have Abraham Lincoln Day and George Washington Day. We don't have those anymore. They don't celebrate those anymore. Those are not holidays. But they were specific days that were designed to celebrate that individual. So Christmas is about the celebration of Jesus. And we love Jesus, and Jesus is part of our lives, whether you like it or not. There's people out there that have left comments, well, I don't believe in Jesus Christ. What about us that don't believe in God, that there is no God? Well, the only thing I can tell those people and you yourself is you'll have to find out in the end. That's all I can say. Either you do or you don't, plain and simple. Let's get on with the situation. So Christmas is here tomorrow. I was going to do a Santa Claus video. I can't. There will not be any Santa Claus video this year due to the fact that I have got to get work out of my shop and I have to concentrate on work. Work is more important right now, and time is an essence. The older you get, the faster time goes. I have been working on 2 vehicles for the last, we'll say, 5 months, and those vehicles have taken over my life. I haven't gone out and done anything but basically work 7 days a week lately. Now today I'm going to be working, but we're not going to be working on a paid customer's car. We're going to be working on something with my friend Pete's. And what that is if we look right here, let's go ahead and get the camera set up. We are going to be working on the money pit. Now, let me go ahead and explain to you about this car as I uncover it. I got this car as a trade-off. And I thought that I was getting a good deal, but I wasn't. Now, that's another thing about being in business for yourself, trade-offs. You know, a lot of people out there, they want to barter, they want to trade, they want to do this and that. And that's not the way to do it. The best thing to do is you pay me and I'll pay you, and we stay friends. Because normally, when you do a trade-off, trade-offs don't fucking work. One or the other is going to get pissed off and mad because they're going to get the idea that he got the deal and I got the dump. So, when I traded for this car, the previous owner told me that it ran perfect and it was a beautiful car to own and it had all this history and he had museums looking at it to want to put it in their museum in California, and he turned them down, and all this other bullshit that went on. And he said, but it's got a few problems. And this is what they are. So it was pretty minor on the problem situation. When we first started, I might say. And what the problems were was minor brake issues, the steering gear leaks on it, and stupid stuff that you can easily fix. So we finally do the trade, and I built him a Baja Bug. He owed me $7,500 in labor. And I said, give me the old car that's been sitting in your backyard for 30 years. We'll call it even. Well, I fucked up. So I get the car, and then all of a sudden, every time I see this guy, he says, something else is wrong with it. Or you got to fix this. Or this doesn't work. Or, well, you better do this before you do that. Let's get the camera over here because we're getting ready to go in the back of the car now. So, I really didn't pay attention to him that much, and I just kept going forward with it because I took his word that it ran great, okay? I took his word that it was an awesome machine, it ran good and all this other shit. Well, we found out after almost $20,000 that the car was just a big pile of shit. I have invested $20,000 into this fucking car, and to this day, I still cannot drive it. I can't drive it. So, what we're going to do today with the piece of shit is we are going to, first of all, roll it up here out of the way and try to get it off of this rubber. Like that. And let me show you what we're going to do, okay? So if you look right there, you can see an oil spot. Well, that's just not an oil spot. That's probably about a quart of fucking oil right there. And then I noticed this too. Now I think that this one is from this car here. I'm not too sure. But I'm thinking that this oil leak is from this car. But this is the oil leak from our Baja. So what I'm going to do today is I am going to pull the engine out. We're going to go ahead and pull this engine out. And we are going to get this thing torn down. I'm going to tear the engine down and see why the fuck I am smoking out here. This is our breather. And when I'm going down the road, smoke is pouring out of this thing like I got a barbecue pit in the back. I have already replaced the rear main seal 3 times. So this will be the 4th time that I pulled the engine out. And when I got the car, of course it didn't run at all. He had a piece of paper with it that said what size engine it was and what stroke and bore that it was. And then I looked at the engine and he said, this car never leaked oil in its life. This car doesn't leak oil. It's an oil leak free car. Well, this thing's leaked oil ever since the day I've had it. So I don't know where the fuck he comes up with saying that it's never leaked oil, because he's a liar. One thing my friend Pete doesn't like is liars. I hate fucking liars. As far as I'm concerned, if you lie to me, you have stolen from me. You have stolen my trust in you. And if I catch you lying, I will never trust you again. Like this jackass. And if I ever see this jackass, I will tell him to his face to fuck off. Because he lied to me through the whole fucking deal. Now, I don't know how you feel about liars, but as far as I'm concerned, liars are thieves. The worst people to know. You can't trust them. So, I put a lot of money in this engine already. Probably $1,500, $2,000, let's say. Of course, the engine wouldn't stay charged up, so I had to replace the alternator right off the bat. This is the power steering pump, and I had to make all this funky Frankenstein shit right here so the belts wouldn't blow off. I had to buy a whole new exhaust system for it. I had to rebuild the carburetors because he said it ran perfect and all you had to do is put some gas and a battery in it. Yeah, okay. Let's see, what else? I had to do a lot of shit. I had to buy a new starter for it. Oh, I had to replace the flywheel on it. All the teeth were eaten up on the flywheel because the starter he had was a piece of shit. And on and on and on. So I'm going to pull the engine out today, and then we're going to start getting it all together. Actually, I'm going to tear it all apart. And I think that I'm going to have new pistons. I think that the number 3 piston is completely shot, and the piston rings are out, and it's getting pressure in the cases, and it's blowing out the oil seals, and of course smoking out the breather. But it doesn't smoke. What's weird, it does not smoke out of the exhaust. The exhaust does not smoke. So that's another situation. But other than that, when I have it out, I am going to try to make some shields around the engine, if that makes any sense. I'm going to make some shields, and that is for me to cut down on the noise, if it's possible. Because driving in this thing is ridiculous. It's very loud inside because of the transmission noise and the engine noise, and you have to wear headphones when you drive it. So I'm going to try to do something while the engine is out of the car and try to make some shields or something to eliminate some of the fucking noise inside this thing. Because what this is a Volkswagen body on a sand rail frame. The tube frame that you're looking at goes all the way through the body, underneath, top and bottom. So if I took this body off of the car, then what it would look like is basically a sand rail. So anyway, let's go ahead and get to work and start pulling this thing apart and see what we got. Once again, I don't know how long I'm going to stay live, but we're going to go ahead and continue to work. So let's get together and get her done and do it right, because that's the only way to do it, is right. And being right means not being a fucking liar. Now, we might make 2 parts of this, and I might come back later when I get ready to tear the engine down and see how that's going. So you're going to see what's wrong with this thing just like I'm going to see. So let's get under there. Let's start draining the oil, and we'll go from there. I'm trying to figure out, okay, here we go. So one more thing I want to mention to everybody. I almost got 200,000 subscribers on this channel, and I'm going to ask, I think I need 2,500 more subscribers to make 200,000. I've been doing YouTube for 15 years, and I think I deserve all the subscribers I can get. And I'm asking you, while we are making this live video, to go ahead and subscribe to my channel, and let's see if we can get 200,000 out of it. That would be a great Christmas present. Okay, where are we at? Let's go ahead and do this. So if we look right here, let's see. There we go. There's the bottom of the engine. And what I got to do first is I got to take the skid plate off, which is a bitch. But let's go ahead and get that done. So once again, we are working and getting her done on Christmas Eve. And I hope everybody out there has a good time tomorrow, being Christmas. I hope that you all are doing okay and everything works out for you. This is just bullshit, people, basically. This is bullshit that we should have to deal with this kind of crap when, you know, people can be honest with you instead of be a liar. That's how I look at it. Because there's no sense lying and then getting caught in the lie. And another thing is, ever since we did the swap out and he found out that this does leak oil and it's a piece of shit, he never even comes around anymore. He doesn't call, he doesn't come around, he doesn't do anything, okay? Nothing. Now the hardest one to get is this back one over here. Here it comes. Come on, bitch. So doing this job by yourself really sucks. Whoops, excuse me. You're not supposed to see that. I got to get another wrench for that one. But the good thing about doing this is we don't have to put it on jack stands because there's 15 inches of clearance. So my big ass could actually fit under there. All right. I had to get another wrench. This is the problem you have when you don't have a lift. It's an up and down situation. Up and down. Okay, here we go. Once I get this off, it's pretty easy. I put this on there. This was originally on the car when I got it, but I didn't put it on there at first. I left it off, and I was just going to go ahead and get rid of it and throw it away, but I didn't. And then when I thought I fixed the oil leak on it, I left it off. I mean, I put it back on there, but as you can see, the fucking oil leak didn't go away. So we're going to hope and pray that it's the pistons, because if it's the case and the case is leaking oil and something's fucked up on the case, then we're fucked, because that means I'll have to just get a whole brand new engine, and I ain't got the money for that. I don't even know how much something like that would cost. But I can tell you this, it would be fucking ridiculous. Ridiculous. So let me get my big ass out of here, and we'll get that oil drained so we can start pulling that bitch out. And damn it, I don't even remember what size socket that is. Damn it. Yeah, that figures a 21. So this thing actually holds like 7 quarts of oil. Believe it or not, with the oil cooler and all the oil lines, and then of course the engine. I'm not going to presume that there's 7 quarts of oil in here now, due to the fact that it's leaked oil. A lot of people out there said that I ruined the car when I painted it, and I should have left it all original. Because they said that I took the history of the car away from it, and I shouldn't have done that. So, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. It's my fucking car. I can do whatever the fuck I want. So, that's how I look at it, personally. What is that, a 9/16? Okay. So once again, I hope everybody out there is having a good time, and hopefully you're going to have a good Christmas. That's all I can say to you. So this cage comes off, and let's make sure that's on off. If I can get up under here the right way, we can get it off of here. And to be honest with you, this engine comes out really easy. It really does. If you can get all the hardware off of it, that is. Let me get that wrench over there on it. I don't want to drop that in the oil. There we go. So this is a live feed today with my friend Pete. I don't know what everybody's doing out there, but I hope you're having a good time. And I'm excited to see what's going on with this car. That's what I am. I want to see what's going on with it, why the fuck the engine is... Come on, bitch. Yeah. Sometimes they're a bear to get out. Okay, I think we drained most of the oil out. That's probably good enough. Like I said, we are not tearing the bottom end of this engine down. We're going to the pistons and that's it. And if this engine's fucked, we're fucked. So let's all say a prayer for Money Pit that it's not fucked. If you know what I mean. Yeah. So while we're down here, we're going to go ahead and get our 17 millimeter wrench, and we'll go ahead and try to get all the bolts off underneath that we can get off. And the way that I like to do it is when I'm doing this type of work, I like to use a cup for everything. And what I'm saying by that is we got to get right here. And let me tell you, this is a tight squeeze on this fucking car. So we got two 17 millimeter bolts on the bottom here that we got to get off. Let me go ahead and see if I can move that camera around so you can see it, what we're talking about. Let's see here. Can you see that right there? Right there, that's where there we go. So there's a bolt right there. And that's got to come out. Got to come off. And the only way to take these off is with a wrench like this. So it sucks. And if we're lucky, because I've taken the engine out 4 fucking times, this will be the 4th time, we might be able to get these with our hand. No, we're not. So if you're not a subscriber, please do it now. Help my friend Pete hit 200,000. I'd appreciate it. That would be really nice. For 15 years of YouTube service to the public, not asking for nothing. Never ask for anything. I don't ever ask for anything. I'm just a guy that works and tries to take care of my own. That's all I do. And I can see this is going to be a bitch. You get that road grime on these things and it's a pain in the ass to get them off. Look at that. 1 thread at a time, people. Half a thread at a time is what we got going here. There we go. Now I can see it better. So let me go ahead and tell you how I started my business. My uncle used to be a Corvette guy. And he started restoring Corvettes in his driveway at home, outside. That's what he did. And me and my brother kind of got interested in the situation. And I've always loved cars ever since I was a little kid. In Denver, Colorado, there used to be World of Wheels, Autorama, and kids used to get into those for free if you brought a model. So I don't remember if my brothers built models, but I did. Now, you always see these model builders out there now, and they're like exotic model builders. I mean, they're above and beyond. When they take pictures of these things, they look like real cars and all that. Well, back then, a lot of people didn't build models that way. They would get the model kit, they'd open it up, and then they'd paint the car maybe, then they'd take the decals that it came with, and they'd put them on the outside, and then they'd be done with it. Well, I was a little different. I like to use my imagination. So there was one time that I think it was a funny car or a dragster, and I made it where it got in a wreck on the racetrack. And now you see that shit everywhere, That's pretty common to see that now. But back in the day, I mean, it was, unusually weird to see that kind of shit. So I started making all these models like junkyard models and wrecked cars, where you take a lighter and you heat the plastic up and you crush the hood in or whatever, or you might rip the fender or just do something. And then, I made a little junkyard scene with the cars. It was pretty cool. But that ain't the cars that I took to the Autorama. So there was a model in the drugstore up the street, the Rexall drugstore. And it was a 1957
Chevy Bel Air, convertible. And on the front picture of it, and it was one of these big giant models. It wasn't your average size. It was like 2 to 3 times bigger. And I took that model and I painted it and everything just like the picture was. And I got some red velvet cloth. I don't know where I got all this stuff, but I made interior for it and all this other, so it looked like a real fucking car. I took thread and sorts of stuff like that, and I made spark plug wires and wiring harnesses and all this other crap. And what I did is I entered that, not expecting to win, but to go to the car show and get in for free. Big Daddy Roth was there. He used to travel to all these car shows, and George Barris and a couple of the other ones. What's that? Von Dutch, he was there. And Big Daddy Roth would go to the car shows, and he'd have a booth. And what he did is he airbrushed T-shirts. He would airbrush you a T-shirt. He had all these Ratfink characters that he would airbrush. And come on, bitch. There you go. And then, but I never had the money to get one of those T-shirts. I never had the money to do that. So, but anyway, to make a long story short, I entered that car, and to my surprise, I didn't get first place. I didn't get third place. I got second place. So I was really shocked about that. And they used to make these little flyers of the car shows, and that little model that I made, that model was in that flyer. So, I thought that was pretty cool. I used to go to Barrett-Jackson every year, Barrett-Jackson car show, and I'd make car furniture and bring it out there. And in the brochure, I still got the brochures. In the Barrett-Jackson brochures, my car furniture was featured in there. I thought that was pretty cool, too. So if you don't ask for anything in life, stuff comes your way. You don't have to ask for anything. All you got to do is actually work for it. So, kind of like this piece of shit. Did I expect that this was going to be a bona fide, beautiful, bona fide restored car? No. I thought I was going to have to do work to it. I didn't know I was going to have to do all this. I'm hoping the fucking transmission ain't leaking up there, because that's looking like that's fucking leaking, and I'll have to send that out to that Rancho transmission to have it rebuilt if it is. That's $1,000 for that, people. And if I do that, I'm going to have fourth gear changed out. I'm still debating whether I ought to do that or not. I don't know. Now, somebody out there is probably saying, why don't you use a ratchet wrench on that? Well, the reason we're not using a ratchet wrench is because a ratchet wrench won't fit in here. This is basically the only thing that fits in here is a fucking wrench. And it's one thread at a time when you're doing it. So I'm still debating, because I'm probably not going to sell this car. I'm going to end up keeping it. This will probably be my last and final Volkswagen that I own. I really didn't personally like it as a rat rod piece of shit fucking car. I'm not really into rat rods. I like nice, clean cars. To me, a rat rod only represents that you're a lazy ass motherfucker and everything you got is cheap and inexpensive. That's what whether it does or not, okay? And don't get me wrong, if you love rat rods, that's great, but I don't. I think rat rods are a sign of cheap, inexpensive junk. Anybody can build a rat rod, okay? Anybody can build a fucking rat rod. Throw an engine in there, weld some fucking cheap ass motor mounts in it, rust it out. That's the biggest thing right now is patina paint jobs. Shit, I was doing patina paint jobs 40 years ago, making them look like rotted, rusted cars when everybody was laughing at them. Now they're like the hottest thing on the fucking planet. Come on, bitch. God. Son of a bitch. That motherfucker will work your arms. That little fucking bolt that you can't get out with your fucking fingers. Look at that. There it is. Come on, bitch. Come on. There you go. Come on. Come on. There you go. Come on. Oh, yeah. That's right. There it is. Right there. And then there's a fucking washer. Now, there's one bolt up there that's a pain in the ass to get. And we need to get an extension and a hand ratchet. Or actually, we can use my... Yeah, we can actually use my air ratchet on that. So hang on. And then we get to come up here. Okay, there's a bolt right up here. And you know what? I could probably get that son of a bitch. Hell, I could probably get that from right here, but I'm going to go ahead and do it like this. There's actually a bolt way up inside there. And I can get it from over here if I want to. But I'm just going to go ahead and use this here to get it out. So let's move this over here. Now what you're looking at right here, this is called a 3-rib bus transmission. And the reason they call it 3 ribs is because of 1, 2, 3. This is kind of old school now. Now they have like 5, 6, 7, 8 rib fucking transmissions. And if you really think about it, Baja today isn't even Baja. Everybody puts Honda engines and all this other shit in them. And how can you justify that that's a fucking Baja? How can you justify that that's a Volkswagen when you got Honda drivetrains in it and you know all this other shit? That ain't a Volkswagen. To me, that's a piece of shit is what that is. So I got to get this bolt right here out. There it is. Come on. Oops. Okay, come on, bitch. Okay, there's that. And then while I'm down here, I'll go ahead and disconnect the clutch cable off of it. Yeah, let's see here. What would be the best way to do that? I guess just, oh, hell no. Hell no. Oh, I don't have to take that off. I don't have to take that off. I got to take the gas pedal off, fucker. And I can get that from up top. I don't need to do that. So let's get up on top. We got to take the rest of the cage off. Then we're going to go ahead and unbolt the rest of the car. I'll leave these down here because that's all the bolts that go on the bottom of it. Those will stay down on the bottom. And then I'll get an other cup for all the stuff that goes on the top. Look at this shit right here. You can see this. Look at this. It looks like that's been like that for a long time, though. That ain't fresh. So hopefully we don't have to rebuild the fucking transmission on this piece of shit. Hopefully. Okay. All right. So, okay, so far we got the bottom of the car done. Let's go ahead and get this on here. There we go.
And now what we got to do is we got to get the cage off. So what's really cool about this is this whole section comes off of the car. Now, whoever did this design and made all this, that was pretty cool. I will say that putting it back on is a pain in the ass. It does not go on like it comes off. I can tell you that right now. That is a fact. I'm going to put my toolbox over here. Be a lot easier to work with. Out of the way. Yeah, there we go. That's a lot better. So, I'm going to tell you this, and I want everybody to listen to this shit. I love Harbor Freight, okay? Don't get me wrong. I love Harbor Freight, but I'm going to tell you something. Harbor Freight is a good place to get tools when you need something quick. I have snap-on tools, and I'm going to tell you now, y'all can sit there and bitch and holler and scream about snap-on this, snap-on that, and all this. Snap-on tools outperform, outlast, and outwork any Harbor Freight tool made. I'm going to tell you that right now. And I'm talking about genuine snap-on shit. I'm not talking about stuff that you buy off the snap-on truck and is not a genuine snap-on tool. I've had this air ratchet for 40 years. I'm sorry, this impact. Never had it rebuilt. I've never had anything done to it. And this impact will last me the rest of my life. Even though a lot of people are going to electric now instead of air. And then, of course, we got the snap-on wrenches. So I believe in snap-on tools. The thing I don't believe is their fucking prices. So that's what I say about snap-on. And that socket ain't gonna work on there. Hell, what size is this son of a bitch? Weird. Fucker. Come on. I had to get a 6-point socket. Some of these bolts. Let's see if that ain't even gonna fit. What the fuck is going on here? What the hell? Well, I'm gonna have to use a fucking wrench on this. Get this off. So this car that you're looking at, this is a bona fide 100% authentic race car. This is not a street Baja that you see around town. This thing is literally a off-road hardcore Baja. So I'm just letting everybody know that. And you know what I gotta go get? I gotta get a cup. I'll be right back. Paint cups are handy items, people. Handy items, definitely, for sure. They are handy, handy items. So once we get this cage off, we should be able to, there it comes, come on. We should be able to start disconnecting everything to get the engine out. What you're watching here, this is live action. This is live action, not edited. And we're going to hope and pray that everything goes smooth. That my friend Pete doesn't cuss and holler and get pissed off. Because Christmas is tomorrow. Okay? I don't want to get mad on Jesus' birthday. All right, there's that. Now I got two more up here, and this whole thing should come off. Hopefully. And I like to put my tools away as I'm using them. I don't like to leave all my tools laying around. To me, it just makes more sense. Like I said, this is a great situation, but putting this thing back on, it's a fucking bitch. And another thing is these top bolts were stripped out, and I had to go to bigger bolts. The threads were stripped. So you can see right there how it popped out. So you can imagine putting it back on. It's a pain in the ass. There it is. All right, let me get this off of here. Come on. There it is. Okay, so there's our cage right there. Race car action right here, people. Race car action. All right, so now we got ample room to go ahead and work on getting this out of the car. First thing we're going to do is we're going to take our Frankenstein pulley set up and loosen all that. And get that loose so we can take that belt off. So I don't know if you're enjoying this or not, or if you think it's boring, or whatever, but we're going to keep on continue going live. And if you can't hear me talking, I'm sorry. I'm really, really sorry. I can't afford fancy microphones and all this other shit. Come on. Get the fuck out of there. Oh, you motherfucker. Damn it. Do you see? It's getting ready to start. It's getting ready to start, people. You fucking bitch. Fucker. Damn it. So this pulley system I made, and you can kind of see how it works now. All it does is give tension, and I kind of just made it look like that because this is old school, and it's kind of semi, fucked up. So yeah, works really well though. And then of course we got to disconnect our pump, which is right here. Now we can get this belt off, like that. So, the next thing we're going to do is get a piece of cardboard to put up under our fucking car, because I don't want oil leaking all over my floor. And here's a good one right here. Hang on a second. Well, let's just use this one. Okay, so we're going to put some cardboard under here. I hate grease on floors. I fucking hate it. It really, really sucks, you know? It really does. And I got to get my snap-on roll around. We need that, definitely. Okay, so now we can actually get to work and get down and start getting something done here. And we're going to get Minnie the body shop girl out here to help us pull this engine out. So, let's go ahead and get everything disconnected so we can do that. Let me go ahead and reposition the camera. Hang on, stay tight. Okay, there we go. All right, so now it's a little better. Okay. All right, so what we got to do now is we have got to start disconnecting all the electrical and our everything else. And when you look at this thing, you actually tell yourself, where the fuck do you start? Let me tell you where you start. The first thing you do is disconnect the battery. And get the air hose out of the way. So we're going to come over here and disconnect the battery. Get that done. And you're going to see me rolling back and forth. So if you see me rolling back and forth, don't get excited. That just means I'm trying to get shit done here. All right, so we got the battery disconnected. When I first got this car, the first thing I did is pull the battery out. And whoever made this little battery box for this thing, I'm gonna go ahead and say they did a shithole fucking job, because to get this battery out is a fucking clusterfuck nightmare. Okay, so we need to disconnect the distributor, the coil, which is right here. Okay, hold on a minute. We're gonna leave. That stays hooked. No, that stays hooked up on there. Okay. We're gonna leave that. We're gonna disconnect the oil over here, the oil sensor. We gotta get that off. I might need some needle nose for that action. That thing's on there tight. So how many people out there like Volkswagens? I'm talking real old school Volkswagens. I'm not talking all this new shit. How many people out there really, really enjoy a good old fashioned Volkswagen like my friend Pete's working on? And I think I'm gonna add this to the list. I'm gonna get me a brand new, God, I can't even get that off. What the fuck? I'm trying to get this fucking nut thing. There it is. Wow. Okay. So how many people out there actually love Volkswagens? I name all my Volkswagens, or should I say I've named all my Volkswagens. Like I said, this will probably be the last Volkswagen I own. But all my Volkswagens had names. And I think where that started, when the movie Herbie the Love Bug came out. And everybody started naming their Volkswagens. But I love my Volkswagen, okay? I'm not gonna bullshit you. I think it's a badass car. I think it's awesome. And I think once I get it right, it's gonna be a badass fucking car. And we got the coil wire on there that needs to come out. Motherfucker. Okay. All right, so that's inside the distributor. So we're gonna go ahead and disconnect this like this. And then we're gonna break all this loose. But if I didn't like this car, I would have sold it, okay? I would have sold it a long fucking time ago. I can tell you that right now. I actually had the car sold a couple times, believe it or not. I actually had it sold. I guess I can go ahead and tell you the story about that if you really want to hear about it. I'm going to get that out of the way. I actually put this car up for sale when I found out that there were serious problems with the engine. And when I put it up for sale, I got to take that exhaust off. Son of a bitch. So anyway, when I put it up for sale, I actually had a guy that was buying it. He gave me a $3,000 deposit. Now, this is a true story. I'm going to go ahead and tell you. He gave me a $3,000 deposit on the car. And he was on his way back. He was on his way back from New Hampshire or something. And he lived in Durango, Colorado. And he wanted to buy my car. And I said, the only way I'm going to sell it, you got to give me a deposit. I got a bunch of people calling that want it. So he gave me $3,000. And then all of a sudden he started talking to me like we were best friends. And this is what I'm going to do to the car. And I'm going to put these stickers on it and all this. And he was on his way back from New Hampshire. He said he had to go to New Mexico. And when he got to Farmington, he was going to buy a trailer to come get it. Back to Durango. Now, in between the conversation, he started talking about dope and marijuana and other drugs. And it's like, I don't give a fuck. Okay, that's not my problem. And he said that he was going to move from Durango because the sheriff's department was on to him and his dealer. Now, I think he was talking about marijuana. and marijuana products such as THC and these fucking oil things that they sell and all this other crap. So he said that the sheriff's department was on to him and his dealer, and it was time to him to move on. So I never heard from him again. I told Minnie, yeah, dope. That's right, dope. Drugs. Hello. I know they're legal now, and we can't call them illegal drugs anymore, but they still fuck with you and fuck your brain up. Anyway, so I didn't hear anything else from him. And I told Minnie, I said, well, I haven't heard from him. Well, I said, fuck this shit. I said, I ain't even going to sell it. I'm just going to give his money back. He paid me with a thing called Zelle. I contacted Zelle, and they said, the only way you can give the money back is you got to have his phone number that links to his account. So I gave him the phone number, and they said, well, that's not it. He's using some other phone number. And she also told me that once you pay somebody with Zelle, there's no refunds. That's it. It's done. So I told Minnie, well, let's call Bank of America because that's the bank he had too. And we called Bank of America and they said, okay, what's his name? And I told him his name and they said, well, which account do you want us to put it in? We got 750 guys with that name. So I texted him and I called him on the phone probably 50 times. Well, I finally told him, I'm going to keep your money for 90 days. If I don't hear from you, I don't know what to tell you. Well, we kept the money for almost 6 fucking months waiting for him to call. Finally, the phone that he called me from was disconnected. And I never heard anything else from him ever again since that day. Now, this is my theory. He was either dealing marijuana dope products and he was traveling the United States with them, and he got caught between New Hampshire and New Mexico in a state where it's still illegal and probably had a whole carload of drugs, and he's sitting in prison somewhere, or he got in a car wreck and died. He was on his way to New Mexico from New Hampshire to go because his mom just passed away and he had to stop in another state to take care of his mom's house or something. I don't know. So I don't know what happened. I don't know, and that's the way it goes. But that's the story on that. I'm going to go ahead and take the exhaust off real quick because I got to take the exhaust off anyway. And then we're going to get this out of the way while we're at it. There we go. Right there. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and continue to work on the car, but I thought I'd let you know that story about my Baja selling it. And then I'm actually looking to sell my Razor. And I told Minnie, I said, okay, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm going to put the Baja up for sale and the Razor up for sale. Whichever one sells first, I'll keep the other one. So I put my Baja up for sale, and I had a bunch of calls on it, but this one in particular guy that wanted the car before, he contacted me and he said, well, you fucking ruined the car. You won't even be able to sell it now. You should have kept it the way it was with all the racing history. And I wanted to buy it, but I'm not going to buy it now, so good luck. I don't know what to tell you, asshole. Go fuck yourself. It's my fucking car. I can do what I fucking want with it, and you can fuck off. Because if you really wanted it, you could have bought the motherfucker when I had it up for sale last time, when you told me that you and your dad wanted it. So it ain't for sale now, bitch. Fuck you. Everybody has a fucking excuse, you know it? Everybody has a fucking excuse about something. Well, but anyway, so we're not going to be selling the Baja. The Baja is not for sale. And we will be keeping the Baja. I hope everybody out there that's watched the videos on my Baja has enjoyed them. They've been very comical and funny. And I think they're funny anyway. So, you know, if you've watched those videos and you like them, give me a thumbs up and we'll make more. So, we got to get the exhaust off of the car. That's got to come off. So we might as well go ahead and take it off now. This fucking exhaust, man. Let me tell you about this exhaust. I got the videos of where I put this new exhaust on. And let me tell you what, I don't know what it is, but man, what a nightmare this was. What a fucking nightmare. I literally, all I wanted to do is replace the muffler. I wanted to take that loud ass zoom pipe off of it. So I went ahead and bought a muffler for it. And of course, it didn't fit right. And I tried to make it work and it didn't fit right. So then I ended up having to buy not just another muffler, but a complete exhaust kit, a tri-milled exhaust headers for the fucking engine. It was fucking ridiculous. Fucking ridiculous. And the reason I bought this, is to quiet the noise down. Because it's so fucking loud in the car, but that didn't do nothing. So I basically wasted my money on it. So we're gonna go ahead and loosen all this up and get this exhaust off. And then once we do that, then we can continue to pull the engine out. Now where did my air ratchet go? Here it is, right here. Okay. So I hope everybody out there is having a good time. And it is Christmas Eve today. And we all love Jesus, am I right? We all love Jesus Christ. Whoops, that's a fucking 12 millimeter. Son of a bitch. I thought those were 13, but they're not. They're 12. Come on. We'll be fixing that definitely for sure. We'll be fixing that for sure, people. So each one of these pipes are individual pipes. Each individual pipe on here is individual. So we've got to get these loose from the muffler itself to literally, take that off. Let me get up under here and get this done. Always wear your safety glasses when you're under a car, people. I don't give a shit what you're working on. When you got something hanging over your face, you should have your safety glasses on. No matter what.
Okay. There's that. All right, get out of here.
Okay, so now the tricky part is, now that it's all loose, we got to get all these pipes out of here. There we go. We got one pipe loose. It's this one. There we go. Come on. There we go. There it is. And then, of course, we got all this shit. There you go, people. Look at that. All right, let me get this out of the way. So how many people out there are enjoying this long excursion of a video? We're already 1 hour in. My friend Pete removing the engine out of his Baja. I don't know if this will actually work or not to be exciting situation, but you know, you're hanging out with me in the shop, we're talking, we're bullshitting. And let me ask you this question. I want to get some answers on this. Should I, when I pull this out, should I leave the engine old and nasty and like it looks? Because if we look at the car, I got the car looking brand new now. It's not an old piece of shit anymore. So should I leave the old tin the way it is? Or should I go ahead and buy some brand new tin and get rid of all this old nasty tin and replace it with brand new stuff? You know, I don't know. That's just an option of what we can do. I'm still debating whether I should do that or not. I don't know. So just something to think about. Give me some answers and let me know what you would do if it was your car. Would you put painted tin on it and paint it to match the outside of the paint job? Or would you put brand new chrome tin on it? That's what I want to know. I was actually thinking, let me go ahead and run this by you and let me get some answers on this. Someone said to do an LS swap. Yeah, that would bring this car way above and beyond the budget of actually getting it running. I got a 1966 four-door Chevelle outside in my possession, and it's a very rare one. A lot of people are going to say, well, it's just this, just that, fuck off. It's a four-door coupe, or a four-door. It's called a Malibu. What's it called? A Malibu something sedan. But anyway, it's a no-post four-door. That means when you roll all the windows down, it's one big opening. So what I was thinking on doing, that I can take that car and I can use that car, and YouTubers such as you possibly could come visit my friend Pete and actually work on that car, and that can be a DIY auto school build job for YouTubers to build and to restore back to original. So if you got any ideas on that, let me know about that too, because I'd like to know what you think about it. So we don't have all the electrical out yet, but we do got some of it out, ready to pull. I'm going to go ahead and disconnect the breather lines off of it. And while I'm over here on this side, I'm going to go ahead and disconnect the fuel line as well. we'll go ahead and disconnect that. Let's see, I guess I could disconnect it here. Because this has actually got dual 40 Webers on it, carburetors. And we're almost ready to pull this thing out of the car, guys. We're almost ready to get it out of the car and get her done. Not yet, though. Almost. So let me bring the camera over here so you can see what's going on. If we look over here, here's my electric fuel pump, and then I got a regulator here. Now this had a very high-tech fuel system on it when I got it. It had a Holley electric fuel pump with an electric regulator on it when I got it. So I took all that shit off, and I put this other more reliable fuel pump on it, because that one was very extensive. The Holley system was like a $600 fuel pump system, but what it did, it continually ran the fuel through the system, so it wouldn't vapor lock. You see what I'm saying? And then, of course, when I changed out the fuel tank on it, and you can see the fuel tank. I don't know if you can see it in there, right in there. That's a 20-gallon fuel tank. So, yeah, when I changed that out, I think it's 20 gallons. I don't remember. Maybe it's 15. But when I changed that out, I went ahead and made it more simple, since I'm never going to drag race it or Baja race it. I have been to some very extreme places with this, and I will tell you what, it does keep up with any four-wheel drive out there. That is the facts. Okay, so we got the exhaust off. I got the fuel disconnected. I got some more wires I got to take off real quick. And I got to disconnect the oil pump system. I got to disconnect that. And I think we are almost ready to pull this thing out of the car. I think so. So let me go over here on this side. Excuse me for getting in the way. And I'm going to take this breather hose off of here and get it off. The heads that I have on this, they're racing heads. They're made by a company called Fat Performance, which is now out of business. But back in the day, when these heads were made, they were like the most high-tech heads you can get, or close to it. But they are now out of business and down the road gone. Okay, so I got this disconnected. We got to go ahead and disconnect these. This is our alternator. I had to pull all this off and then dismantle this shit. The fucking guy that I bought it from, once again, liar, liar, you're a piece of shit, told me that everything was perfect on it. I basically replaced everything that sits on the engine. I even completely rebuilt the carburetors. But yeah, you know, I hate fucking liars. I don't know why people have to fucking lie, you know? Why? Why do you gotta lie? What's the big deal in fucking lying? Because maybe if he would have told, if he would have told the truth, I probably would have told him, keep your fucking piece of shit. I ain't got $20,000 fucking dollars. I'd rather have my money. Now, I will say one thing that he did, and I think he did this because he felt sorry for me, because he knows he fucked me around, is that he insisted that he paid to have the shocks rebuilt. Now, to get those shocks rebuilt, I had to send them to Fox. There's 8 shocks on this car. and I had to send them to Fox, and it took him 2 months to rebuild them. But he did pay for those. Now, why he paid for them, don't ask me. I don't know. And he also bought the disc brake system. So he bought the disc brakes for it, and and rebuilt the brakes. I'm not going to sit here and fucking lie. Now he insisted, because when he actually brought his car. Did he really pay for him? Because hold on a minute. When he took his car with him, it had a transmission leak. That's right. I forgot all about that. And he wanted me to fix that. And I told him, look, dude, I don't have time. I don't have a fucking lift. You got to take the axles off and all this other shit to do it. And it's a pain in the ass. You need to find somebody to do it. He couldn't find anybody to do it. So I ended up fixing that for him. And then that's when he insisted that he buys all this, the disc brake system and the shocks. So did he really do that? Did he really do that? Or was that another swap out for fixing his piece of shit other fucking car that I completely rebuilt and made brand new? Some people have balls, okay? Some people have a fucking ball that big. Motherfuckers. All right, so we got to get these fuel lines off right here. And where did my fucking wire covers go? Here they are, right here. So this actually has a heavy-duty oil pump on it. And we got to get these oil lines off. I had to replace all these. To replace these fucking lines here, and I think there's 4 of them. To replace all these lines cost me like $300 fucking dollars, man. I couldn't fucking believe it. I could not fucking believe it. So what you're looking at here, this is my main toolbox. I don't even know if you can see it over there, but this is the toolbox that I use. Everything I need to work on cars is basically in this box. And then, of course, if I don't have what I need in that, I got everything else in that one. So, but this here, if you plan on doing this for a living, get one of these babies. This is the best toolbox you'll ever own. You can roll it around your shop everywhere. You can put all your tools in it that you need, and it's just an awesome setup. So we're going to go ahead and disconnect these oil lines here, right here. Let's get these done. And that is not a 7/8. It's a 15/16. Where's my 15? There it is. Okay. I think it's 15. Yes, it is. Okay, so we need another one for that. All right, so we got a 7/8 here. That's where the 7/8 came in. Right there. There we go. Okay. There's one. And there's 2 right there. All right. So we're going to go ahead and take these off. And just in case it wants to leak a little bit of oil, we'll do that. And then we're going to go like this right here. There we go. All right, so let's see. I got the exhaust off. I got the 3 bolts taken off. I got these disconnected, which we're going to, once this oil drains out, we're going to put those through there. So I got the oil lines off. I got all the electricity off. I got the gas disconnected. The fuel cable disconnected. Let me go ahead and pull that out of there. I'll reach back here like this and get that. fucking toolbox out of the way. All right, so I got to get down here and get that gas cable out of there. Wow, that motherfucker's way back in there. Okay, we'll go ahead and get that. We'll let that pull out by itself when we pull the engine out. All right, so I got one more bolt over here to get. Let me get a 17 millimeter wrench. And then I think we got it. And then this bolt over here is actually a starter bolt. So we're going to come over here behind the engine like that. And there's a bolt right here. And that happens to be a starter bolt. That's the upper starter bolt for, there we go. And then once we get this done, the engine will start leaning forward and be ready to pull out. I'm just wondering, hang on a second. Is there a fucking, you know what? I think, let me see here. See what's going on. This takes a special bolt. I want to see if that, okay, it's not. There's a special bolt that goes on this for the starter that it's a self-locking bolt. It's like a half a moon. Well, it's not here. And it's just got a regular old fucking bolt on it. Let me tell you about the starter. The fucking starter in this thing costs 280 bucks. It's one of them super high torque starters. Anybody that's watched the videos, I think you've seen that. But just like the other ones, one thread at a time. You know what? I'm going to see if I can use my ratchet wrench on that one. Let's go ahead and get this off. There we go. I don't know if that's... I don't know if that's coming off. It's got to be coming off. There we go. Okay. Yeah, it's coming off. So anyway, I was telling you that this is a clusterfuck, people. It's a real clusterfuck. I'm really debating whether I ought to pull the tranny out and just have that fucker rebuilt too. I don't know. I talked to that Rancho guy over there, and believe it or not, the price to rebuild that thing was very reasonable. Damn, motherfucker. It was very, very reasonable. More reasonable than I thought it would be. I was actually kind of shocked on it. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get this engine out. And then once I get it set up on the engine stand, we're going to come back and tear it down and see what's wrong with it. Fuck. There's a fucking bolt in there that I got to get to. This fucker is not coming off like I want it to. Here we go. I think it's coming now. Okay. I think I can get it with my hand. Let's see. Yeah, that figures. Here it is. Okay. So I think it's ready to pull out. Let me go get Minnie out here, and we'll get this engine out. There we go, just like that. And we'll get the engine out and go from there. So hang tight. We'll be back in a minute, and we're going to get this engine out. It's taken me an hour and 15 minutes to get this far. That's not bad. Not bad. I sure hope I can get this fucker fixed, because if I don't, I'm selling it. I'm done with it. I'm fucking done. All right, I'll be back in a minute. Minnie's on her way out here. Before we go yanking shit out, I want to make sure I got everything disconnected. There's really not much to disconnect on a Volkswagen engine. It's basically just your fuel electric wires, and then of course I got my oil. But I want to show you something, and this is where the fucking guy lied to me. This is where he started giving me bullshit stories and telling me this, that, and the other, and all this other crap. Let me show you real quick while we're waiting on Minnie. If you look right here, do you see that in there? Look how nice and clean those push rod tubes are. Do you see how they look brand new? All right, look at them. They look brand spanking new. So he was telling me that the engine was all fucking tight and everything was perfect on it, and it was an awesome engine and all this other shit. And when I looked at it, I saw them brand new push rod tubes, so I kind of believed him on that. But in reality, this thing is a worn out, beat up piece of shit engine. And I'm just hoping that we can fucking fix this thing without spending thousands and thousands of dollars that I don't have to get it running. I'm just hoping so. So it's going to be a mystery until we get those heads off and see what the pistons are like. So leave a comment down below on what you think about this live video action where I'm actually working in the shop, talking to you and hanging out. We might do more of these. I don't know. Depends on, what the ratings are and how popular they get. I'm going to ask you again, if you're not a subscriber, I need like 2,700, 2,600 subscribers to hit 200,000. If you guys can make that possible, man, I'd appreciate it. Talk to your friends. Tell your family members they're on YouTube. Subscribe to my friend Pete. Help him hit 200,000. That's all I ask, 200,000. I'm not asking for money. I'm not asking for Christmas presents. I ain't asking for shit. Speaking of Christmas presents, I want to thank our buddy Tim, Colorado Tim out there. He sent me an album, Grand Funk Railroad Greatest Hits. I'm going to show that album on one of my other live videos. So if Tim out in Colorado is watching, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I think Minnie, the body shop girl, just walked out. Is that you? Yeah. Okay, we got Minnie, the body shop girl. So let's get this engine out. And then once we get the engine out, we're going to go ahead and turn the camera off. And then once I strip all the cooling tin off of it and all the sheet metal, we'll get the engine on the stand, and we'll turn the camera back on to find out what the fuck is going on with this oil leaker and why it's acting the way it is. I'm going to predict that it is piston number 3. That's what I'm going to say. But we won't know until we get it all torn down and find out. So let's get this engine out and see what's going on. Okay, hang on before we pull it out. I want to get these oil lines out of the way. So you want to say Merry Christmas to anybody out there?
Merry Christmas, everyone.
They're all wondering, where's Minnie at? Why isn't Minnie outside helping my friend Pete?
Because it's Christmas Eve and I don't work on Christmas Eve.
Okay, well, this ain't work. This is hobby action. Oh, this is work to you.
Yeah.
Okay. Just wanted to get that clear, that's all. Okay, so let me get these oil lines out of here and out of the way. There's one. If I can get it out of the way. Okay. There's that one, and then we got this one here. I think we're going to have to pull the engine out. As we pull the engine out, this will come out. Isn't that how we did it last time?
I don't remember.
I do remember it was a pain in the ass. Okay, you notice there's no exhaust on this one, so we got to be real careful. There's nothing to hold on to. So bring the floor jack over here, and we will proceed to pull it out. Okay. If you want to work the jack, I'll get the engine. Hang on. Okay.
Is it tight?
Yep. Hang on. Yeah, I should have left the exhaust on it. Damn it. I ain't got nothing to hold on to. Hold on. Hold on. I forgot. I gotta take this. Gotta get this out of the way. Hang on a minute. Fucking air cleaner. This power steering. I gotta take the air cleaner off. Hang on. Remember?
Yep.
I gotta take the soft off. Okay, we got to get the air cleaner off. Let's go ahead and I'll show you what I'm talking about here. That air cleaner over here on this side has got to come off. So let me get that off. Hang on a minute.
Oh, it's just really leaking now.
Huh?
It's really leaking now.
What do you mean?
Oh, it's dripping
that's all
out
right.
of it. Oh, it's coming out of that thing. Never mind.
It's coming out of that thing.
Yeah.
Well, that's why we're pulling it out, because it's an oil leaker.
Oh, yeah.
Huh?
I said, oh, yeah.
Can you give me my air hose over there so I can get this out? All right, so I got to take this air cleaner off because it hits the power steering. And then once we do that, okay, I don't need that long. Then once we do that, it should come out. And that's a 10, that's an 11. What size is that? Motherfucker. 12. Okay. Hang on. One more. Okay. Yeah. I gotta get that air cleaner off. Okay, we'll put that right here. Put this off. Motherfucker. There it is. Okay, come on. Come on, bitch. Boy, the only way to change these bitches, you gotta take the carburetors off. There. Okay. There's that. All right, now let me back this up. Now we can go ahead and pull this out. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay, once I get it out, we're gonna just let it down.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
The jack's too tight. Hang on a minute. Okay. Ready?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Hold on, man. Won't do nothing. I get the gas cable out. Gotta get the gas cable out of there. Make sure everything's disconnected. I'll jack it up a little bit. There we go. Oops, too much. Okay, here we go. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay, pull it back. Okay,
Let it down.
not yet. Hang on. Get the oil line out of there. Hang on. Okay. Hang on a minute. Pull it back a little. All right, let it down. Slow. Just let it down. Come on.
Coming down.
Okay. All right.
There's one of those rolling things in the little
I
shed.
don't
You
need
want me to
one.
go get it?
That'll be fine right there.
Okay.
All right, there you go. Thank you. Okay, so we got the engine out of the car. The car is engine free, you might say. It's an oil leaking piece of shit, people. That's all I can tell you. Look at this crap right here. Look at that. Just oil everywhere. Oil everywhere. Look at this. I've replaced that rear main seal on that thing 3 times. And it's a bad situation. So, once again, I'm debating whether I should go ahead and rebuild the transmission while I got it out. I'm really debating on that. So, we got a high performance clutch on here. That's a Kennedy clutch. There's the flywheel that I had to replace. And yeah, we're gonna have to take the flywheel off because we're gonna have to put a brand new oil seal on it because it blew the oil seal out. So that's a deal. But I'm gonna go ahead and strip all the tin and the carburetors, get it down to a bare block, and then we'll come back later on and tear the heads and the pistons off and see what the hell is going on with my friend Pete's Baja and why the fuck this thing is just leaking oil faster than you can put it in there. Once again, I hope it's not the engine case. If it is, we're pretty much screwed. I can't afford engine cases and all that. That's an AS41 dual relief case. I've even replaced the pressure valves in it and the springs. So I've done everything I can do except tear the engine down and go from there. So this is the final judgment on this thing to see what the fuck is wrong with it. And I'm willing to go ahead and buy brand new pistons and cylinders if that is what the problem is. So we'll see you then. Thanks for watching, guys. Sorry it was that boring, but we'll be back. You're already there. Rebuild the trans. Okay. I'm thinking I should do that. It all depends on what my budget is and how much money I got. I can't afford to do everything. I'm not rich. I'm just like you guys, just working stiff. But I'm thinking that might be the way to go. And I'm going to call that guy again and talk to him and ask him about rebuilding the tranny. The transmission isn't leaking and the transmission works fine. But the problem we have is when I put it in fourth gear, when I'm driving down the road and I put it in fourth gear, what happens is it just bogs down and loses power. So I'm thinking that I want to get fourth gear redone. Rebuild the transmission, make it brand new, and then re-gear fourth gear where I can actually drive it on the highways and around town. Because I think this thing is designed to only use first and second and sometimes third gear. This is a race car. It's a racing transmission. I'm sure the transmission has been rebuilt to the point of it's race, not street. The previous owner did tell me that he laughed at me when I said I was going to make it street legal and said, well, that's not a street car, dude. You can't drive that on the street. And I kind of, agree with him. But anyway, let me get the cooling tin torn down and see what's going on with that. And then we'll come back later on and tear the engine down. I went out and bought an engine stand for it. I used to have one in Dallas, but I left it there. So I got a brand new engine stand right here, ready to go. And Minnie, the body shop girl, she'll help me put it on there and lift it up on there. If not, we'll get somebody else over here to help. But we're going to get that torn down, and then hopefully it's just a set of pistons, put them back in, bam, 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 go down the road. Yeah. Clusterfuck, people. A real clusterfuck. We'll see you then.